you haven't experienced the superpower of what getting lean actually provides in your life, watch this watch to the end of the video and you know exactly what I'm talking about. See, what most people don't seem to understand is that you think having an above average amount of body fat is good. You think women find that attractive. You think that eating your favorite foods that are ridiculously high in calories, have no protein, super high in carbs and super high in sugar, and spikes up your insulin is okay. It's really not. You're literally shortening your lifespan because you have an addiction to food, not realizing that the life on the other side, once you get lean, is exponential. The exponential curve isn't even fathomable for you. You know, I walk around in the street and sometimes I see people that generally, I'm like, bro, if you just got lean, you would look so fucking good. Like, no homo, women as well. And you're just missing the mark. You're really just cruising. And the problem is, in today's society feeds you the lie of comfortability. Seek comfortability and your life will be great, you know? Do everything comfortable. Strive for safety, for peace. And it's all backwards. Because what getting lean is going to show you, it's going to show you that the opportunities that the world provides you is strictly unfair because you're lean. I'm sorry, guys. When I was fat growing up, I saw other guys just absolutely just clear out. All the popular females are attractive and all this and that. And it was almost like I was invisible, but I had to be super funny, super like charismatic and all this just for some guy to say two words and he's already walking across the school with this woman for the entire lunch period. Imagine that. Imagine how that makes you feel, right? And guys will still know this and still have gone through this experience, women as well, to today, and you still live a life like that. See, what you're missing out isn't the understanding that, you know, I just want to get lean to, you know, see what's going to happen. But no, you miss a crucial element, you know, because it's the characteristics, it's the leveling up your character. It's like you're a main character in a video game, and you're leveling up your XP, you're leveling up your skillful attributes. That's what you're missing out on. You don't seem to understand the building of that is exactly what makes you fucking dangerous to society to get exactly what you want. So you need to shift your perspective in not the pursuit of the outcome, but the pursuit of who you are as a person internally. Because once you shift from inside, then you actually can just navigate any situation that comes to you because you've already said to yourself, you've crossed the line, and anything that comes your way, of course, pain, friction is required, failure is required, but you know that at the other side of that is exactly what you want, which is getting lean. And if I'm going to be honest, that most of the world will just always be fat, will always have a high body fat percentage. And that's okay because that's the average. That's the collective consciousness. And you need to move away from the collective consciousness. Most people, they're not really aware that they just feed into the collective consciousness far too much, right? So what is the collective consciousness? The collective consciousness is basically the thought patterns, the feedback loops of your average person. The average person that has a million limited beliefs, doesn't really have anything going for themselves other than work, you know, doing their most boring average shit on repeat every single day. That's an average understanding of the collective consciousness. And you need to run away from that, truly, because that's what keeps you stagnant. I don't know if you can think back to times in your life where you're doing maybe unhealthy things, you're doing some stuff that you probably shouldn't be doing. And does that correlate with a period in your life where nothing was going for yourself? You felt down, maybe things weren't happening the way you wanted? See, that pattern there is exactly what I'm talking about. That's the collective consciousness all trying to form a bubble together, right? As human beings, we like to flock in groups. But the great thing about that is you can use that to flock to people who are lean. Put yourself in that environment of people who have better physiques. They're going to push you more. They're going to want better for you based off of knowing that you have the same mentality as them. Do you understand? Being lean changes the game in every single aspect you can possibly imagine. I've been lean quite a few times in my life. I'll put up some videos just all around this and some photos, of course. And the thing about this is I knew from a very young age that having abs, being lean, would change the game when it came to female attention. In university, I was just, honestly, I was moving completely reckless. I had abs, I was cut, the whole shebang. And that's what you don't seem to understand, is that when you're a rare item, obviously in the context of being lean, you're respected more, you're treated with more purpose because you seem like you're a lot more disciplined than the average person. The collective consciousness, remember? So this is what separates you immediately. This is just subconscious programming, right? This is health markers. We all like to see a woman with a nice hourly figure, and girls love to see guys with V-tapers, wide shoulders, etc., etc. These are just health markers. It's the same thing before the agricultural food era in the food industry. Hunter-gatherers, they would have specific people go to hunt, and the rest would just flock in and create the villages and stuff like that. But what do you think were the health markers or the subconscious thing that the people thought, oh, this guy should probably go out and hunt? It's the same thing when you're lean, guys. It literally changes the game. Every single time I'm lean, it's like way more attraction from women. You get taken seriously, and there's a correlation between being lean and being driven towards a purpose that you weren't before. See, when you're lean, you actually, from a biological explanation, the partitioning of your nutrients that you're eating from your foods, obviously this is being lean, so you're eating whole foods. So this is the Paleolithic era, before agriculture, before food industry, whole food specifically. When you're lean and you're obviously doing this, the nutrients are getting stored in the right areas. See, when you're in a high body fat percentage, the carbs that are meant to be used as energy get stored as fat. And that's the thing. You've been compounding bad foods that are in the agricultural era, in the food industry, the modern era as such. You've been compounding these foods to the point where your body just doesn't know how to actually use them. That's why if you're overweight, your first immediate thing should be getting lean immediately. And then people be like, oh, don't look small. You won't look small. You have lean muscle mass. Lean muscle mass is probably the best medicine you can probably imagine out on the planet. Every research, every conversation with people who do biological research into how, muscle and all these things has an impact in people's lives, it's like nothing you can ever imagine. So not only from a biological subconsciously factor that you can obviously think about, and it makes a huge difference. It will also increase your lifespan. It just goes on, guys. So what the fuck are you doing if it's 2026 and you're out of shape, you don't have abs, you're not lean? What are you actually doing? Seriously. You gotta ask yourself that question. If you guys found this video helpful, do give me a like. Obviously, comment in there as well. And peace.